Welcome to class today. Today we're going to talk about leadership and management and what those things mean to you. So the first thing I'd like you to do is think about one of the best leaders that you've ever worked for. And I want you to think about and list some of the characteristics of that leader, and why don't you just tell me a little bit about that? Okay, so one of the things I'm hearing is that great leaders build personal relationships with the people that they work with. That's a good one. What else? Good. A great leader inspires you to be your best and helps you build your confidence and skills and abilities. Those are really good ones, right? So sometimes we all have good skills and that's how we get into jobs, but leaders really help you develop those things, right? And help you increase your confidence about your ability to use them. Very good. What else? Okay, so I hear someone say that a good leader helps clearly define the mission and the vision for a team. Tell me a little bit about that. How does that look in practice? Okay, so you have very clear goals and very clear expectations about what the end products should look like. Very good. How did that leader inspire you to be different? Okay, so you then had a desire to help make their vision a reality, right? So in essence, like their vision became your vision as you work together, and you build these relationships and you work together. Nice. What else? Their leadership made you a better leader. Talk to me more about this one. Okay, so you learned how to influence others and how to walk humbly and give credit to others, right? Those are such great characteristics of leaders. Someone who can teach you how also to be the best that you can be, and how to influence others and be a great leader yourself. What are some other good characteristics? Oh yeah, so leadership requires followers, right? So you can be a great commander, but unless there's people who are following you, and not because they have to, but because they want to, right? So the results of the leaders aren't really seen in the behaviors of the leaders, right? The result of a leader is seen in the behaviors of the people who follow them. Very good. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what is leadership. Let's work together to build a working definition. So I know you've done your reading, so why don't you tell me, someone throw out some definitions of what leadership is. Okay, so the first one. Leadership is a process of social influence which maximizes efforts of others towards achievement of a goal. Okay, that's kind of a mouthful, so let's take that a little bit in chunks. So the first part of that is leadership is a process of social influence. Okay, so what does that mean to you? Okay, so that means that it's not a matter of command and control, right? It's a matter of influencing others, which is one of the things we talked about. The next part of that says, which maximizes efforts of others towards achievement of a goal. Very nice, right? So that's really, we have what's the action and what's the result of the leader. So they're very influential towards coming up with a result. Nice. What else? Leadership is a timeless practice of guiding others in pursuit of a goal, destination, or desired outcome. Right? So that one's very similar to the one we just talked about, where it's the leader is guiding others, right? So the leader is not always the doer. A lot of times they're just the inspired, or they're the ones that help you be successful and achieve things in your desired goal. So I'll tell you one of my favorites. My very favorite definition of leadership came from Daniels and Daniels, who wrote a book on the measurement of leadership, I think. And one of the things that they really said that resonated with me was the leader's role is to establish the conditions under which all performers will choose to execute the mission, vision, and values of the organization. That one really resonated with me, because sometimes it's not about leading the charge, right? And you don't have to do the work. A lot of times it's about establishing the right conditions for other people to be successful. And then I really like the second part, the middle part, where it talks about where your performers will choose, right? They're not doing things because they're required to or because they have to. It's because they believe in the same things that you believe in, and they choose to execute on that mission. And then the last is execute on the mission, vision, and values of the organization, right? So let's use that as a little bit about our working definition of leadership. Tell me a little bit though about how are those things different than management? Okay, so first my question is one of them better than the other? All right, so Mary, I hear you say no, because we need people who are good managers, right? Of course we need people who are good managers. We need good management and we need good leadership. And you can't run an organization or a project really without either. Could it be the same person? Maybe. It's a lot of work to do, but you certainly could. The thing about management and leadership is managers are really about managing things. So timelines and coordination and monitoring, making sure things are getting done. Leaders are a little bit more about the vision and helping people understand how what they do equates to helping people achieve the goals. So you can do both. It is certainly possible, but it takes a lot of effort to be successful and good at both. So my next question is, are these characteristics learned or are they natural? Okay, Sarah, so I hear you say that those things are learned, that anyone can learn to be a leader. They can learn to build relationships and and inspire others through taking classes, right? I think that's probably fair. I don't know about everybody, but definitely a lot of people can help hone those skills that way. John, I hear you say that you think that leaders are born. Tell me a little bit about that. Right, so you're saying that you either got it or you don't, right? So I always equate this to like, have you ever seen the 6-year-old on the playground who can inspire their peers into action? Now, you know, my 6-year-old is like, we're aspiring things that might be evil instead of good, but he's definitely out there leading. So I read an article once where the author describes leadership as kind of like a bell curve, right? There are some natural born leaders who just innately have these skills. Then there's the ones on the other end that no matter how hard they try, they're just never going to get there. They don't have any real foundation to build on. But most people live in the middle. Most people have some skills and they use those skills and they take classes and they work with other leaders to build those skills up. I hope you enjoyed our conversation today on leadership and management. Thank you.